Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward and Camp Cloudtop. We have helped out both for tomboys, and neither of them is dead, and I choose to treat that as a win. Reliable. That's what we are. Anyway, let's go catch up and get out of here, because I think we're leaving. I think we gotta get ourselves back to Ishgard, probably. Or Chiffon, thanks for the help, by the way, with that whole situation. Even after everything he's been through, he manages to remain so optimistic. That he does, doesn't he? How are we feeling? Lord Imanolin appears to be rather pleased with himself. Oh, does he? Very well, I admit. It was an incredibly harrowing experience. I could very well have died, you know. Me. Dead. On the other hand, by risking life and limb in the line of duty, I did succeed in uncovering the existence of a new primal. And that, old boy, is no small feat. I've made an historic discovery. A fact even Lady Laniette will have no choice but to acknowledge. Yes, I'm rather looking forward to basking in the sunshine of her praise. Speaking of which, isn't it time we made our triumphant return? I suppose it is, isn't it? Okay. Time for the triumphant return. Wait, hang on. Oh, to Lady Laniette, right, not back to Ishgard. Sorry, I was just kind of in a hurry to get back to town. Stop babysitting. But no, we'll be good. We've a local reputation to establish, after all. Honorwa, how are you? Thank you, Master Germani. Got the name wrong. My own name. Thank you, Master Durami. Thank you. If you had not rushed to his aid, I dare not think what would have happened. He'd have died. That's what... You're welcome. Praise Halone. I feared the worst. What happened out there? I babysat. A primal? Are you sure? Yet, now that I think on it, this Bismarck is reminiscent of the white whale of Vanu legend, a massive creature said to swim in the sea of clouds. From what I've learned of comparable summonings, the presence of the Vanu's god would certainly explain the sudden change in their behavior toward the people of Camp Cloudtop. Ah, you mean to say that they've fallen under the primal's influence? I recall reading of such things in the documents provided by Master Alphino. Aren't we forgetting something important, Lady Laniette? A little recognition for the hero of the hour? A few choice expressions of gratitude, respect, admiration, and so on? Why, yes, you are right, of course. Master Durami deserves all that and more for having risked his life to rescue such an esteemed personage. Good word choice. Well, if there's naught else to discuss, I would depart for Ishgard forthwith. The Holy See and the Temple Knights must be informed of this new threat without delay. But of course, Master Durami, you've done more than enough here. Pray return to Ishgard with Lord Orchiphon and give my warmest regards to the Count. So that's it then. No more forays into enemy territory? Very well, I can see my services are no longer needed. Take care, Lady Laniette. May our next meeting take place under more felicitous circumstances. Very sorry about him. Sorry I didn't let him die, I guess. Or you're welcome. I don't know, however you're feeling. All's well that ends well, huh? To the airship landing, then. We can speak on the journey home. Alright, now we go back to Ishgard. Ishgard, your favoritist new tiny hero has returned. I confess, I've always been rather fond of airship travel. The chill of the wind upon your face, the warmth of the blood pumping in your veins from the excitement. I find the whole experience indescribably invigorating. Or mayhap it's simply the joy of having cheated death yet again? In any event, I must make for the congregation and inform Sir Emmerich of all that has occurred. Imanolin should have returned to the manor by now. Why not go and see if he is recovered from his ordeal? I'm sure he's fine, but I'll go check in. Good chance to warm up. Gatekeep, I return. Let me in, please. Ah. Home, sweet home, away from home. How we doing? Oh, it's you, Derman. Gods, did he have to strike me so hard? Father, he did not approve of how I handled matters in Camp Cloudtop, how I endangered the lives of others through my own recklessness and incompetence. It's not easy playing the hero, is it? No, it's not. Anyway, bye. And my sympathies to you, young squire. Well, I did my job. What's next? Who needs what? Hello. What can I help with? The Fort Tomp steward looks as though he has something to say. Great, I have something to hear. Master Durrami, my lord the Count much desires to speak with you regarding your time with Lord Artoirel and Lord Emanalen. If you would remain here for a moment. Can do.
The hero returns. I cannot thank you enough for saving young Emanalane's life. Aye, he told me everything. I've also received letters from both House Zamail and Durandare praising your conduct, and that of House Forton. You've won us much honor, my friend.
My lord!
What is it? Speak.
Pray forgive the intrusion, my lord, but I bring grave tidings. Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru have been detained on suspicion of fomenting heresy.
What? Explain.
They were observed entering a tavern in the lower levels on some half-dozen occasions. There, it is claimed, they made a number of inquiries. Inquiries which brought them into contact with certain, elements. 'Twas this which prompted a Knight of the Heavensward to demand that they be questioned. Sir Grinno, my lord.
Sir Grinno is a brute. An exceedingly accomplished brute, but a brute nonetheless. Alas, he is also a son of House Zamail. How quickly we forget the petty nature of men. I'd wager your friends are no more than pawns in another of my countrymen's games. Such is the way of things between the high houses.
Well, this is bad. All right, what can I do? Though you have won the hearts and minds of many of my countrymen, there are those who will never be swayed. Men who will dismiss your efforts and resent your successes, even as we celebrate them. 'Tis like that one such member of House Zamail is manipulating Ser Grinno, for he is not a man to dabble in politics of his own volition. He may genuinely believe your friends to be guilty, though I am quite certain his masters know better. Yet the truth will avail us not if we cannot prove their innocence. You would do well to speak with Sir Emmerich at the Congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly. He will know more of these charges. Hey, I don't need an excuse. Emmerich! Emmerich, I'm crashing in your town for a while. We're practically neighbors. Oh, it'll be so nice to catch up. How you doing? Hey, Lucia! That they should regard the Scions with such suspicion even after you stood with us on the steps of faith. It is bad comedy. Yet unlike the grave injustice you suffered in Ul'dah, this wrong may swiftly be righted. I would appreciate that. I've had enough wrongs unrighted lately. Derman, I had but this moment resolved to go and fetch you. I presume you've heard what happened then. Yeah, let us discuss these things. It has been too long, Derman. Would that this visit came under happier circumstances. You are come to plead for Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru, I take it. Word of their detainment reached us while I was delivering my report on the Vanu Primal. Truly, I know not which is the more ludicrous, these charges or that flying feathered whale. That Sir Grinno's accusations are baseless, I have no doubt. Refusing them will be difficult, however, or refuting them, rather, as he is a knight of the Heavensward. I speak of the personal guard of the Archbishop, the 12 finest knights in all of Ishgard, sworn to serve His Eminence alone. Suffice it to say, their testimony is unimpeachable, and I have not the authority to challenge their actions. After all the Scions have done, routing the heretics and defeating Shiva, helping us to defend the steps of the faith and drive back the Dravanian horde, after proving themselves true allies on countless occasions, is there naught we can do? I fear there is but one path left to us. We must demand a trial by combat. But of course. In a trial by combat sanctioned by the Inquisition, the victor's claim is judged true regardless of the petitioner's standing. Under Ishgardian law, a trial by combat pits the accuser against the accused. In this instance, Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru would be expected to face Sir Greneau and a second of his choosing, another knight of the Heavensward, most like. 2 of them? By the Fury, that can hardly be considered fair. Master Alphino's magical talents will not have gone unnoticed, meaning that he will have no choice but to participate. Mistress Tataru, on the other hand, is quite obviously bereft of martial skill, and should be afforded the right to name a champion to fight in her stead. Lest you doubt, I am ready and willing to serve in this capacity, as I'm sure is Lord Orchiffon. But all here present know that you are the most accomplished warrior among us, and mayhap in the realm at large. That is true. Then it is settled. I will visit Master Alphino at once and inform him of our intentions. Dermot, meet me at the tribunal when you have made ready. Until then, my friend. Just point me at him. Would that Ul'dah had given me this opportunity. Alright, let's go solve this problem. Alrighty then. Who do I have to hit real hard to solve my problems? Can someone direct me to a target? Listen carefully, Dermot. When the trial begins, the petitioner will be asked to restate his charges, and the accused invited to respond. Then, in accordance with the law, they will be asked to restate their request for a trial by combat. Once the High Adjudicator acknowledges Mistress Tataru's right to name a champion, that is when you must make your entrance. Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on Sir Greneau's face when he sees his true opponent. It will be priceless. More seriously, should you begin to lose heart, look to me in the stands and I shall cheer so loud you'll wonder how you could ever have contrived to doubt yourself. Now, are you ready? Absolutely. Thanks for the psyching up. You're setting a great example. I could learn from you.
We are gathered here today under the watchful gaze of the Fury to ascertain the guilt of 2 souls in a trial by combat. Petitioners, step forward. Sir Greneau, for the benefit of all here present, I would ask you to repeat the charges which you have leveled against this man and this woman.
I, Sir Greneau de Zemile, brother of the Heavensward, did bear witness to these 2 foreigners consorting with heretics.
The voice on this one. Whew.
Let the accused step forward. Alphino Leveilleur, Tataru, you have heard the charges leveled against you. Will you take up arms to refute Sir Greneau's claim, and thereby prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men?
I, Alphino Leveilleur, am innocent of this charge, and claim my right to trial by combat.
I, Tataru, am innocent of this charge. But I am no warrior and cannot fight. So, I claim the right to name a champion.
To the old and the infirm, the young and the weak, this right we allow. Very well. Who will stand for this woman?
Hello.
Just as I was beginning to doubt the efficacy of the Ishgardian justice system. Come, my friend. Let us put an end to this mummer's farce.
Render unto us your judgment. Raise up the righteous, and cast down the wicked.
We'll have this sorted in a jiff. I shall do what I can to support you, Derman. Now let us teach these noble sirs the folly of going too fast again. Come on, man. The folly of bearing false witness. Well, well, who do we have here? This one's mine, Sir Grino. Go and play with the boy. Humph. Bloody waste of... Come on, men. You wanted this, remember? Oh, Grino's looking a bit worse for the wear. Let's focus him down, huh? Yeah. I've had enough of your tricks. Oop, maybe I better free Alphino here. Hey, bud. You've been indulged enough, heathen swine. Ah, fine champion you are.
I've got you now.
Derman, Alphino, look out! Ah, jeez. What do you got going on here, bud? Oh, jeez. Okay, nope, not standing in that. Alphino, could you stop getting trapped for 10 seconds? Please. Come on. Okay, let's finish that dude off. There we go. And wrap things up with this one. No, thank you. Have a little of this. And maybe a bit of this.
Hells take you.
I can jump all day. You gotta teach me how to do that trick. Yee. Alphino, you alright? Try to not die, healer.
This isn't funny.
And there we are. Case dismissed. The thing... I mean, we won! The Fury has spoken. Alphino Levelier, Tataru Taru, you are hereby acquitted of all charges. Blessed are we who receive of her wisdom and see justice wrought by her divine hand. Petitioners, accused, go forth in peace. Delivered from an untimely demise yet again. My thanks, as always. Anytime, bud. How'd you get accused of heresy? Like, I was gone for 2 hours, man. By the Fury, what a splendid victory! To see how you strove in the face of adversity. 2 brave young souls bound together by the puissant bonds of camaraderie. Why, it stirred me to the very depths of my soul. Having been treated to such a rousing spectacle, it seems only right that I present you with a humble token of mine admiration. Pray receive of me this chocobo whistle. Oh. Thank you. With it, you may summon a black chocobo, fully trained and ready to fly. Hey! Convenient. Magnificent, is she not? Strong yet sleek. Elegant yet eager. What say you, Derman? Will you take her for your steed? I mean, I got Quayfriend already, but you're welcome to come hang. Lord Orchivon, chocobos are prohibited in the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine. Your steed must remain outside. Nice birdie. We're breaking so many rules today. Ah, but now I have both the chocobo whistle, which is awesome, and also this etheric compass, or ether compass, whatever. Not something that's really going to come into play during this story-focused recording, but this is how I'm going to get the ability to fly in all these new areas. You've obtained a black chocobo. When riding this mount, you will have the ability to fly, provided certain conditions have been met. To fly in a given region, you must first find and attune to all the local ether currents. In order to attune to some ether currents, you'll need to complete certain quests. However, most can be discovered via exploration. To aid in this endeavor, you've also obtained an ether compass, which will provide you with both the bearing and the distance to the nearest ether current upon use. The ether compass can be found under Collection in the Duty section of the main menu. To review your progress, select Travel from the etc. So yeah, basically, in all the areas we go wandering around, there's going to be a dozen or so ether currents that we need to collect in each area. Just a bunch of green swirls of wind that can be found kind of scattered across the map. And you can use that compass, which will sort of help you locate them in the map. And some of them you'll get from doing some quests in the local area, which is just kind of a good way for them to guide you to several quest chains that can give you some good flavor and kind of fill in some gaps and side stuff. We won't be doing those on camera, but just trust I will be doing all of that off camera so that I can fly around, which is going to make recording this series way faster. Anyway, Lord Orchifon thinks you could do with a well-deserved rest, and I agree. Black chocobos are all well and good, but the true reward for your efforts is the exoneration of your comrades. They shall be released upon the completion of certain minor formalities, which I mean to see to personally. In the meantime, pray return to Forton Manor. The Count has done so already, and will doubtless be eager to discuss the day's events. That sounds like a great idea. I'll be right there. Thanks for the help. Ah, another fire put out. Taking care of problems left and right around here. So, any more problems in need of dealing with? Helone smiles on us yet again, Master Dirami, guiding you to victory and setting your comrades free. I confess I did fear for your safety, which is not to say I doubted your prowess, you understand. I merely knew the strength of your opponents. You do have a habit of exceeding my expectations. Besting 2 of the Heavensward while the city's elite looked on? By the Fury, anyone who hasn't been paying attention to you will surely do so from now on. We are making an impression, aren't we? My lord! We have just received a message from the vault. His Eminence, the Archbishop, requests the presence of Master Dirami. An invitation from the Archbishop? What an honor. A personal summons is indeed a great honor, and given recent events, you would be wise not to delay. Go, Master Dirami. We shall speak anon. A priest will be waiting for you outside the vault. Identify yourself to him and he will escort you inside. Oh, goodness. A summons. What to wear? You know, they seem to favor the formal military look around here. Very all business, these Ellison. We will endure the cold to make that kind of impression. And finally, we can see this place in some proper daylight. Got the mountains back there. This gorgeous bit of architecture. Ishgard's got its problems, but man. What a set piece of a place. Hello. We are honored to receive you, Master Dirami. This way, please.
Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise. I am Thordan VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies. You will forgive me for not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate, but as you can see, my more sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors. Negligence born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
Yes, Your Eminence. Regrettably, it would appear that we of the Heavensward were in receipt of erroneous information. Sir Grino has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
An unfortunate misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred. For who could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain. That will be all, Sir Zephyrin. I would speak with our guest in private.
Your Eminence, As you wish, Your Eminence. That will be all for today.
I feel very small in here.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position. Now, tell me, young man, what do you know of the Asians? Much and more, I shouldn't wonder, being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them, have entertained them as guests, even. Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power, that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet. Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them. Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict. And why do I tell you this? Because there is naught in this world they fear more than the power of the Warrior of Light. If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it.
Man, the voice acting performances really have stepped up. Again, no shade to the original cast, it's just... These actors have been well cast, the dialogue is much stronger on average. The actors have been given a lot of time to like allow lines room to breathe, which is nice. They're not having to like match lip flaps or anything like that a lot of voice actors in localized content have to do. The lines are feeling very just comfortable as they say them. And it's just extremely well done. I'm quite impressed. Let me inside, please. I'm back. How are you two doing? Better, I hope. I nearly cried when you stepped forward at the tribunal, Derman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, all in a day's Derman work.
There you are. I confess, I was more than a little concerned when I learned that you had been summoned to the vault. What did they want with you? Well, well. A formal apology and an admonishment of those responsible. I see my fears were wholly misplaced. By the gods! The Archbishop freely admits to consorting with Ascians. So, their ambitions extend to Ishgard as well. We will have new primals to contend with ere long, of that you may be certain. 'Tis but a matter of time. Yet shorn of the support of our missing allies, what can we realistically hope to achieve?
In the midst of all the excitement, I completely forgot to tell you.
I also really love Tataru's new voice. It's adorable.
When I was asking around about the Scions, I heard the most awful rumor. General Raubern is to be executed for crimes against the Sultanate!
If the Flame General dies, we will lose a staunch ally, and the one man capable of holding the Sultana's assassins to account. Lord Orshafon was wise to counsel restraint, but this business will brook no delay. We cannot permit this execution to take place. We must save Raubern.
Agreed. All right then. Let's go make a mess. Alphino wishes to share his plan of action for rescuing Raubern. Though the situation calls for urgency, it would avail us little to charge headlong into Ul'dah without a plan. Before we can formulate a plan, however, we must first learn how things stand in the Sultanate, which is why I propose that we visit Limsa Lominsa. Aye, you heard me right. While you were about your altruistic endeavors, I acted as an intermediary in trade negotiations between House Fortom and a Limsan consortium. During said negotiations, an opportunity to send word to the Admiral presented itself, and I duly seized it. I'm happy to report that we've yet have a stout ally in Limsa. The Admiral has pledged her full cooperation in any effort to rescue Raubern. Accordingly, I've agreed to meet with her, that we might discuss how best to proceed. Naturally, I told her to expect us both. Your presence never fails to embolden our allies, after all. When you arrive in Limsa Lominsa, make yourself known to Sergeant Xanthale at Bulwark Hall on the lower decks. He'll admit you to the bridge. This will be fun, going back to an old stomping ground. And one where I'm probably not nearly so wanted. Gods, I hope we're not too late to save General Raubern. I should have told you sooner. About the execution, I mean. But what with the trial and everything... Yeah, I understand. You've had a lot going on. Not a problem. We'll fix it. All right, well. Let's get ourselves to some warmer climes for a bit. Ah, but it does feel nice to be back in familiar areas. Looking good, Limsa. Okay, let's get to the bridge. Ah, beat me here, huh? Speak with Sergeant Xanthale when you're ready to meet with the Admiral. He'll admit us to the bridge. Right, I remember. The Admiral's been expecting you. Say the word and I will take you to her. Thank you.
Friends, 'tis good to see you safe and well. I will admit I had not counted on you seeking, let alone finding refuge within the Holy See, but full glad was I to learn that you had.
Thankfully, We had allies there who took us under their wing. And theirs was not the only aid we receive, I suspect. When we fled Uldar, we fully expected to become wanted men, known to all and hounded at every turn. Yet that did not come to pass. On the contrary, 'twould seem the charges against us have not been made public. Might we have you to thank for that, Admiral?
Sharp as ever, Master Alphino. On Marshal Terrapin's urging, the Elder Seed Seer and I demanded that the Syndicate suppress news of the Scion's alleged crimes until such time as irrefutable evidence could be found. Our argument was simple. Lacking proof, to accuse the saviors of the realm of so unlikely a crime would have the people up in arms. In their wisdom, the Syndicate agreed, as you yourself have seen. There is something you should know. Some few days prior to the banquet, the Elder Seed Seer and I were summoned for a private audience with the Sultana. There, she revealed her intent to announce her abdication, that she might pave the way for the establishment of an Uldan Republic.
What? But such an announcement would have plunged the entire nation into chaos.
She was well aware of that. 'Twas for fear of what might ensue that she summoned us. Her Grace wanted the Elder Seed Seer and I to lend Rauban a helping hand, you see? To aid him in preserving the peace during the transition.
So, having somehow caught wind of her plan, Lolorito and Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination in the hope of maintaining the constitutional status quo. But they must have known that her death would sow as much chaos as her abdication. Chaos from which Teleji alone might feasibly stand to profit. Surely Lolorito would never knowingly... Ah, could it be? I dare not hope.
The Uldan authorities have yet to announce the Sultana's passing. To allay any suspicion that may arise from Her Grace's absence, they have issued a statement to the effect that she is presently convalescing from illness.
Mayhap they're waiting for a fitting moment to break the news. Or mayhap they know of some other reason to delay.
Something else has been bothering me, Admiral. I was dismayed to learn that General Rauban is to be executed. Yet upon hearing the news, I could not help but wonder why he had been kept alive for so long. Pray mistake not my meaning. I am, of course, overjoyed that our friend still draws breath, and that he might yet be saved. But if his enemies truly wished to eliminate him, they could have done so immediately. I see no reason for this delay.
Aye, you've struck upon an important point, Master Alphino. Following his capture, Rauban had been held in the Marasaja pit within Uldar. In recent days, however, he has reportedly been moved to an unknown location. Queerly, 'twas not the Brass Blades who spirited him away either, but a band of soldiers decked in blue.
The Crystal Braves.
Aye. If I read the winds aright, the arrangement between Lord Lolorito and the Braves has come under strain. At any rate, if we're to rescue Rauban, we'll have to find him first. And you'll be glad to hear that I have already entrusted the task to those best able to see it done. Our friends of Doma.
Rauban's survival is vital to the Eorzean alliance. We can ill afford to lose him. But I cannot send troops into Uldar. 'Twould spell the end of the alliance, and war, like as not. If there's to be a rescue, it falls to you and yours to attempt it. I would not have it any other way, Admiral. It was I who founded the Crystal Braves, and I who must take responsibility for their actions. Spoken like a true leader, Master Alphino. By way of a first step, you should seek out our Doman contact. You will find her among the frontier hands at Revenant's Toll, working in a kitchen. Looks like we're going back home for a bit. And I like Meryl Web's new voice. I know for like a lot of folks, like it sounds like the generally agreed upon consensus is that the only downgrade of the new cast from Realm Reborn to Heavensward is Meryl Webb, because a lot of people like the original actress, and she did do a great job. I think this one, I think this new performer is just as good. It just feels like a side grade to me. Like, I think the performance is great. Anyway, the Crystal Braves may no longer answer to me, but that does not absolve me of responsibility. As commander, I'm accountable for all the wrongs they've committed, all the havoc they've wreaked. Indeed, don't worry, we'll handle it, bud. Though it's useless to dwell on the past, I often wonder if I could have and should have done more for you and Rauban that day. Leaving the banquet was tantamount to leaving you and yours for dead. Should you think me craven, I wouldn't hold it against you. But I will make it up to you, this I swear. Come what may, know that the Scions of the 7th Dawn can count on our cooperation. That is great to hear. And we are going to go and see about that rescue next time. Because we already had 2 pretty long episodes this week, and my voice could use a break. There's more voice acting, but not more voice acting enough. At least not yet. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm so excited to be back in this and in Heavensward and everything. Exciting times. Have a great weekend, everyone. And I will see you all on Monday for another episode of Heavensward. Do take care until then, and goodbye.